Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
I'm 50 days sober, and this is how you want to start the podcast. This is the boy Harm.
I started right after I said what I said.
I'm aware. Jesus Christ. I can't with you. That was ridiculous. I gotta move you over. Why are you on this screen?
I don't know. So let's talk about SmackDown.
It was fine. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was enjoyable.
We got to get into this because hell no.
So the show kicks off.
Hell to the no.
Oh, I have my takes on the main event segment. I don't think the match itself is bad.
No, stop. Just go. Just keep going.
So the show kicks off, and Cody's walking in the backstage, and he is interrupted by Jimmy Uso. And he's like, "What up, Uso? What you doing here?" And he goes, "I need to talk to Nick Aldis about Drew McIntyre beating up my cousin last week. By the way, thank you for having my cousins back. By the way," and I was talking to one of our colleagues. I was talking to Tommy before, and we had seen the same Instagram reel where they were talking about how producers of television shows are dumbing down their verbiage in their shows to make it easier for people to follow because they think that most people are not watching TV 100% anymore. That we're watching it while having our phones in our hands. So they need to dumb down the dialogue so that way you can keep up while not paying attention to it. The reason I bring that up is the way Jimmy and Cody were talking to themselves in this first segment. I wanted to blow a shotgun.
Calm down now. God damn it. Stay trying to get us canceled.
Because he goes, "Thank you for helping my cousin, Jacob." And he goes, "I got you, Oos, but what about you and your problems with your brother, Jay?" And it's like, this is like they're trying to remind the people what these relationships are for the story. And I'm just like, do they just think
I have my own brother, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Exactly. And Cody's like, I understand. I have a brother that's in the game. Yeah. It's just like, and I'm just like, they're trying. The dialogue was so bad, and I'm just like, I understand what people are saying now.
So can I say something now?
Go ahead.
My thoughts on that. You're talking about your goddamn self. You're not having an epiphany here. It's you. You're the one that's literally watching while you're watching TikToks and other stuff on Instagram. You're the problem, bro. And you're talking about other. Oh wow, yeah. I watched this thing on TV. And I think they're right, and they are doing that. Yeah, you're their demographic right now. You're the one they can't reach.
Something engaging. I will put my phone down. And here's my defense to this. I watched this SmackDown while washing dishes on my phone. I couldn't.
What did I say? What did I say? But you talking about it like you just figured something out.
No, but here's the thing. I didn't have a second screen experience going because my only screen experience going was the show. I just happened to be doing something else while watching SmackDown.
The fact that you think there's a difference here. Oh God, this is how we're starting today's episode. Okay.
All right. So Cody's like, "All right, go speak to Nick. I gotta go speak to the people." And he goes out and he starts talking. And his Cody, "What do you want to talk about? Tempe, Arizona." And then before he could say anything, he's interrupted by Drew McIntyre, who makes his way down from the crowd. Eventually stands on top of the ring announcer's desk, the color commentary desk. And Drew, we say this for months. Drew tells no lies. Drew starts telling him, "I didn't take out Jacob Fatu last week. I don't know who did, but I'm going to be the beneficiary of it because I deserve to be the number one contender. You, Cody, for some reason are getting cheered by the fans every single week, even though you cost me my match at WrestlePalooza with the referees. Last week, you hit me in the head with a belt, but you're still getting cheered." He goes, and then he starts going, he says, I didn't take out Jacob. It could have been Jimmy. and then he was gonna say something about Naomi. Maybe Jimmy's kind of like his wife, and then Cody just goes enough, and then they did, and he's like, "You want to fight? We could fight right now." And so Drew McIntyre gets down off the table, goes to go fight Cody, and Jimmy comes out from the crowd and attacks Drew while Cody's there, and they have to separate Jimmy from Drew, and that's basically how we ended the opening segment. We come back from the commercial break, and Drew and Nick Aldis are arguing because he's telling him, "I didn't do this, but you have a problem. Somebody's attacking me," and Jimmy attacks him again. Mm-hmm. So they separate them. He yells at Jimmy. He tells him to get to his office, and then he tells Drew to go away to cool off. But yeah, that was the opening segment of SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. And that set the tone for the rest of the night, because while that opening was garbage, everything else was garbage. And I'm supposed to sit here and believe that Jimmy Uso is a threat after zero build. After zero build. I'm supposed to believe that this guy is just running around beating up Drew McIntyre every 2 seconds. I don't care how many times and how many ways Jimmy can come from behind and you could put a weapon in his hand, and I still don't believe that he's beating Drew up. I'm sorry. It's not happening. We do not care about Jimmy Uso suddenly. You're not going to get me to suddenly believe that he's going to get a push now, and then tonight's match also push that agenda. Oh, look at him. He has a chance. He has a chance. And all of that. No, he never had a chance. We're going to get into it later. But no. Garbage opening, garbage show. Let's go.
So then we got our first match of the night. And I had to remember why we were having this match. We had the MFTs versus Rey Fenix and Shinsuke Nakamura. So as Jimmy's walking out, as they were taking Jimmy out to the backstage, as they were separating Drew and Jimmy, the MFTs music hits. So you had the moment where Solo and Jimmy before he left. Mm-hmm. Full on misfit, oddball face paint that they had on everything. Question, and I think I've asked this question before, and I'm going to continue to ask this. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa they're adopted brothers, right? Mm-hmm. They're brothers.
Are you going to bring up the fact that it was JC Mateo and
Tama Tonga
together tagging as opposed to the brothers?
Yes, because they were Gorillas of Destiny in New Japan. They're like the 11-time New Japan IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Why are we just not having Gorillas of Destiny have the match instead of JC Mateo and Tama Tonga?
Where's my SmackDown Logic shirt? Why is that not on me today? I need to be able to point. That's why. What you mean? Why would we do the thing that makes sense? And then again, we're really trying to build this tag team division.
We're really trying to build this tag division, the MFTs tonight.
We're trying to do it with the MFTs, and technically they can formulate 2 different tag teams from that group. And on top of that, Rey Fenix and Shinsuke Nakamura. Let's go, tag team. New tag team. Let's go.
That's a one-off. That's not going forward.
I'm just saying. All they had for Rey was to put him in a tag team. That's all they had for the guy. And then his tag team partner leaves the company only to maybe come back.
Can we talk about that on a sidebar? That WWE had a 1-year non-compete for Andrade after he showed up at AEW Dynamite, only with the hopes to bring him back? Like, what is happening over there? Like, he doesn't want to be there. Let him go. The non-compete is not going to hold up in court if Andrade wants to take you to court so he can wrestle for AEW. But
they'll bury him in legal. That's the issue.
100%.
That's the problem. It's not a matter of can he beat this. It's a matter of the bill that's going to come out of this. It's not worth it.
I don't know, man. Sitting out for a whole year is crazy. But yeah, go back to Rey Fenix. Yeah, he lost his tag team partner because he wanted to leave. And then you put him in with Shinsuke Nakamura, who, again, Shinsuke Nakamura is a babyface. I'm all for it. They looked really good in this match. These guys are really good workers. But I had a 0% thought in my mind that they were going to win this match.
Oh, no. 100%.
There was no reason.
And I knew Ray was going to take the pin.
There was no reason.
You just brought Shinsuke back. He's not losing like that. I'm sorry. No, very entertaining match. I thought it was. It was just stupid. I agree with you. I was like, why is he with JC Mateo? It just doesn't even look right. No. And I like the fact that, and I guess you can cover it now. I like the win. It made the most sense. My only issue with it was I was hoping that they would destroy them after the match.
I can see that. There's a 4-on-2. It was. I mean, they had to get cheating from Solo and from Tala Tonga on the outside to get those win, right? So Tala Tonga hits a choke slam on Ray onto the apron, allowing Tama Tonga to hit his version of Will Ospreay's finishing move, the hidden blade, for the win, because they called it the cutthroat last night, and people were going. AEW stands were going crazy at Tama Tonga on Twitter because he's using Will Ospreay's finishing move. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But yeah, no, they should have beat them down. But my thing is, if you weren't going to have the Wyatts there to try to make a save, having them beat them down again after getting the win, after you just beat them both down last week, is you're burying the baby faces. Like, if you beat them down, and then the Wyatts come out to try to make the save and the baby faces stand tall this week, and you're also pushing the idea of Wyatts versus MFTs for War Games on this episode, then I understand the beat down. But they got the win. They cheated to get the win. They beat them down. I mean, they beat them. There was no reason for a 4-on-2 beat down after. They already asserted their dominance.
No, there is a reason. It's because, what did he say? He said, we're coming to destroy this, and we're coming to show everybody what we're about. So you want to go ahead and destroy everything and show people what you're about.
They got the win. It's enough.
That's a dumb thought. Next. I hate
it. I'm just saying, it's like they got the win. They made themselves look strong as a group. That's fine. That wasn't my biggest takeaway of that was, where the hell are the Wyatts? That was my takeaway.
I didn't think about the Wyatts at
all.
They were trying to make me think about the Wyatts. What was the point of just having one of them in the background? I only saw one. Did you see more?
Yeah, I know.
So what was the point of that? Because nobody believes that Nikki Cross is suddenly going for the goddamn belt. This show sucked, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. This show sucked. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
I thought about the Wyatts when, after the match, when all four of them were at the bottom of the ring, the bottom of by the apron of the ring, and they were bringing the camera solely on Solo, and I'm like, all right, this is the time the lights are going to go out and they're going to confront them, and they just came out of it. It was just like, that didn't make any sense. So then we have the backstage where Jimmy's in the Nick Aldis's locker room office, and he's like, I need Drew. I want Drew. And Nick's like, I can't have you just running around here attacking Drew all night. I can give you a match. And Jimmy, he's like, I don't want a match. I want to fight. And he goes, okay, let me make some calls. But if anything, tonight, Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre in a no disqualification match. Mm. And Jimmy got excited. So that's that.
And immediately, my first thought was, we're continuing the thing with Jimmy, that he's either going to be a tag team or he's going to be a hardcore guy. Because that's all we're doing with this guy.
I'll let you go off on it later, and I'll go into what I think is actually happening with Jimmy Uso. Because it stems into Jay and Cody.
I don't want to hear
I think it's... Go. All right. So then we have Kiana James versus Tiffany Stratton. Mm-hmm.
A match no one needed.
I forgot why they were having this match. Kiana looked fine. She's a good wrestler. You knew she wasn't going to get the win. Oh. You knew Tiffany was going to get all the offense. Yep. There was a lot of athleticism. There was a lot of flips because they both have gymnastics background. Yep. They have decent chemistry because they wrestled once in NXT before, so they know each other well. They came up together in NXT. These two women had a solid match. But the story of this match was not needed because we had gotten. Was it before or after? It was before the match. Chelsea Green was having the backstage. Mm-hmm. So Chelsea Green was having the backstage talking to Julia, and she's like, "We should have a merger of our groups." Mm-hmm. And what she said made no sense. She goes, "Because I'm going to go after the women's championship," but she goes, "But I know what it's like to be the longest reigning women's United States champion of all time." But then she says, "But we should keep it that way." So when she said we should keep it that way, I'm like, oh, she wants Julia to lose that belt so that way she doesn't overtake her thing. I'm like, but you're also talking about merging the groups. So how are you talking about the merging the groups but taking the title off of Julia? It didn't make any much sense. So then Kiana walks up and she goes,
perfect sense. It's because her ego.
Yeah,
she's crazy. Chelsea Green is crazy. It's just chick is crazy. That's the whole logic right there.
Yeah. So Kiana James says to her, calls her Discount Barbie or something. Discount Diva is what she called her, and she goes, "Ooh, you called me a diva?" And she's flattered by it. And she goes, "We don't need you. We have a match. Julia doesn't need you." So they leave. Julia goes, "Arrivederci," because she's half Italian, and she goes, "Did she just say yes in Italian?" And I'm just like, "No, you meathead! Like what?" So Tiffany Stratton gets this win after a Swanton Bomb and then
prettiest
insult ever, and the heels beat her down. Julia and Kiana James come in and beat her down. Jade Cargill comes out, and Jade Cargill, I noticed right away the gear. She was in tight black leather pants and cut off sleeves. She looked more jacked than usual. Mm-hmm. She also, just the way she was presented last night was a little different. So I know. So she comes out. She fights off the heels. She gives the title to Tiffany. She points at her, and then as she's going to walk away, she turns around and she clotheslines Tiffany. The one I thought about two things when I saw this. I thought about Dave Bautista clotheslining Rey Mysterio, and I thought about last week when Samoa Joe clotheslined Hangman Adam Page in the same exact way. I was just like, this is what we're doing. Okay, cool. Jade as a heel, I can get behind, because I've always said she needs more in-ring work, and sometimes her character work and how she cuts promos doesn't come off right. But her as a heel, I can get behind because she's an imposing figure. She's looks bigger and stronger than everybody else. And being a heel, you can do less in the ring from a move set than you have to do as a babyface.
True.
It's going to be a lot more strikes. It's going to be a lot more clotheslines. It's going to be a lot more rest holds, a lot more bear hugs. It's going to be a lot of things that's going to highlight what she does well while taking away the things she does not do well. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for this. So Jade Cargill beats down Tiffany Stratton. They're going to tell a story of how Tiffany's knee is hurt because she came back after and slammed her knee into the... Yeah. And then she goes into the ring and she holds the championship belt and she and she puts it down in the little ring and she walks out. But she does have a backstage segment later where Kathy Kelly asks her, "Why did you do that?" And she goes, "I'm tired of being patient. Everybody tells me being patient around here gets you what you want. No, being powerful gets you what you want. And to get that power, I need that women's championship." So, what's your take?
So for weeks, we've been talking about we need a change. For weeks, we've been talking about we need more heels. For weeks, we were saying Tiffany Stratton needs to turn heel. So they heard that and they said, "You're right. We need Jade to turn heel." That's not what we said. That is not what we said. I get everything you're saying, and it is a good move for Jade. But Tiffany, I feel, needed it more because she's terrible as a face. Her personality's not built for that. She comes across very cringe when she's doing those what are supposed to get her pop promos. By doing this, you're telling us you're gonna keep Tiffany as a face
keep her as a baby face
for a long time.
Yep.
And we did not need that. This was a terrible show with terrible decisions that are gonna last for a while, bro.
How do we get Tiffany even over more as a babyface? We have her do what Cody was doing against the Bloodline for 2 years. We give her the obstacles to overcome. Her friend Jade Cargill, who her frenemy, because she keeps beating her, just beat her down, and now. And if there's one person on that roster, not named Charlotte Flair, who might be more athletic on a women's division, and Bianca Belair from a women's division, more athletic than Tiffany Stratton, it's Jade Cargill. So you turn Jade heel, you have her beat her down, you get the sympathy for Tiffany, and you hope that she can improve. This is what they're doing. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I can understand them saying Tiffany Stratton eventually is money, and we're going to get her to the point where she is going to make us a lot of money. So we need to keep her as a babyface. I get it, but I don't agree with it.
SmackDown logic. Just pretend I'm wearing the shirt. As I point at my chest. Just please pretend it's there.
Okay. So then we got a backstage segment between Ilya Dragunov, the new United States champion, and Sami Zayn. And when Sami was talking to Ilya, trying to get him inspired, Ilya looked like he was going to have like the meanest, like, explosion.
Stupid.
It was no, it was no. I'm telling you, it was like. I have
it looked
to
like
not
he was
be
having a
disgusting.
brain aneurysm. Like it was.
I
popping.
thought he.
That vein
I
was
thought.
popping.
I thought orgasm. That's what I thought.
What did I say? I said you're gonna say something stupid.
Like
no,
he was like,
not at all.
He's like, yeah.
Okay, calm down. We don't need the reenactment.
He's like Ultimate Warrior 1989, right? When he was talking to him, bro. But yeah. So apparently we're gonna continue to get the United States Open Championship. Whatever. What is wrong?
I just feel like we're definitely losing the family demographic we were going for every episode, little by little. We are strictly for the adults.
Mommy, what's an orgasm?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
That's the way I took it. It's like he's talking to him and he's about to pop. So yeah, we're gonna continue to get these United States Championship Open challenges every week,
which
apparently.
Is cool. Which right away led us into what I was not expecting. Of all the matches that they could have made, I was not expecting him and Aleister Black, like at all.
Yeah.
So when he came out, I said, "Ooh, what do you do now? What do you do now? Because you can't have," I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to say Dragunov.
Ilya.
You can't have Ilya lose a week later.
No.
But you can't afford to have Aleister lose right now because he's on a streak, right? And you're starting.
One win is not a streak.
It's a streak because he overcame that beef. So he had that one win. So it's like, okay, this is the next thing. We're moving on. All right, we're ramping up. We're going to build this guy. And then WWE said, no. We're running it back. Like a Jey Uso entrance. Because Damian Priest came straight down at the end. I knew as soon as this match happened, I said, you can't have this one lose and you can't have this one lose. So what happens? Interference. Who would interfere between these two? And I automatically knew what it was. It made me so mad. This show was so bad, bro.
This was a good match. These two guys had a really good match. And so what you're gonna get, and before I even get to Damian Priest, what you're gonna get out of Ilya Dragunov as United States champion is his matches are gonna be a lot more slower paced than the Sami Zayn matches you are getting.
Oh no,
but
they
you're
gave
gonna
him
get
time. I felt like I was
time.
watching. I felt like I was watching an AEW match, not
but
a
it was
super
a
long one. But nonetheless, they gave them time and they let them do their moves. Like they hit
the physicality Ilya brings is going to be different than Sammy's brings. It's a lot of strikes. It's a lot of kicks. It's a lot of headbutts, as opposed to like Sammy doing this Sammy stuff, right? So this match was great. I really enjoyed it. But then you're right. Towards the end, Zelina trips up Ilya because he's going for the H-bomb on Alistair, and she gets kicked out of ringside as she's arguing with the referee. Damian Priest's music hits. He comes out looking like, again, Puerto Rican Scott Hall with his cool guy sunglasses, and comes out, takes the sunglasses off to reveal the scar from the airball. Hold on.
Why do they do this? He put the sign on the door. He did not put the sign on the door. And they just let him know. They probably walked in. He had the face of like, I'm recording. And then they were like, you didn't have the sign on the door. And he's like, damn, I didn't. It's my fault. I hate him. I hate him so much. Because I can't get mad at them. Because I can't.
I forgot to put the sign on the door. That was Matthew. He was just walking in. So Damian Priest comes out and takes his glasses off. He has the little scars. The makeup looks so bad from that scarring, by the way. Anyways, we'll get into that later. He doesn't actually hit Alistair, but because of the distraction, this guy hits his flying headbutt. I think it's the Moscow thing, whatever it's called. Whatever, the flying headbutt he hits for the win. He leaves. Damian Priest starts to beat down, goes for the choke slam on the ring, on the announcer's table. Zelina jumps on his back, starts gouging his eyes, and the Zelina and Alistair make their way out through the crowd. My takeaway is we spoke about this 2 weeks ago.
It's never ending, bro.
Oh, that's not even my takeaway. My takeaway is
it's never ending.
I mean, that too. This is Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest again.
Yes.
No, my takeaway is we talk about Aleister Black and Zelina Vega basically becoming Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux 2.0.
Yeah.
The entrance was basically the same as Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux's. It did exactly the same thing with Zelina crawling out to the ring, and your focus is on Zelina until Aleister gets into the ring, and then she's like seductively doing like she did everything that Scarlett was doing when she was with Karrion Kross. They're not even trying to hide it. Like the parallels are exactly the same.
So number one. You took away my second.
Okay. I'm sorry. I needed to get that out
because I was about to go off. So I don't have to. That's fine. And secondly, if you, I don't want to insult. If you noobs online after this still believe that this is a work. Like, this is not
about Karrion Kross.
Yes,
No,
this is not a work. He literally been replaced.
100%.
I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a very long time. That was not a work. And last week or the week before was when I told you guys, hey, they are replacing him with Aleister Black. And you guys didn't listen. So please listen to my words now, and I shall speak them slowly so you can understand. This isn't a work. He gone. He's gone. He's not coming back. All right? He could do all the Ariel Helwani interviews that he wants going forward.
So, to touch on that, Killer Kross put out a YouTube video 4 days ago. And the thumbnail for his YouTube video says one big work. but the description is my life after WWE.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 2.5 million hits in 4 days. He has his fan base is going to ride with him regardless.
Yep.
But this man is wrestling. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's wrestling for MLW, probably making a decent amount of money in MLW. But if you see some of the TikTok and YouTube clips of where this man is wrestling right now, he is in high school gyms. He is in like he looks. It's smaller than the original ECW arena. Like he's wrestling in front of like 50 people.
Yeah.
Like
he's putting in the work. You can't be mad at him.
I'm not mad at him that he's putting the work on the indie scene and getting there, because he's probably charging these indies way more money than they can afford to pay him, considering the size of the crowd that's there.
Yeah.
But he's telling you he wanted to go back to WWE. He's open to going back to WWE. He loves it there, but they don't want him. They don't see the money in him, and that's the thing. And that's Hunter has a problem booking supernatural or cult leader gimmicks. I've said that before. He loved Bray. He helped Bray become what he was in NXT and on the main roster. He's pushing the Wyatts. He had the Judgment Day, the original iteration with Edge, and they wanted to make them a supernatural gimmick. And Edge wanted to make a supernatural gimmick, and they said no. He doesn't like that type of character. Mm-hmm. I think that's where we are. He likes Cross as a person, and he probably thinks he's a great worker, but he does not like that type of character. So now go back to Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. What do we have there? What are we going to get with them? Because if it's just going to be the same, in a year, they're going to be gone again. Mm-hmm. That's my takeaway. If we're getting this for the next year, I don't see this being successful for Aleister Black.
So I disagree with you. Not what you were just saying. I disagree with the fact that I don't think Hunter likes him at all. I think he probably had a good relationship with him. But again, he thought, per Karrion Kross, he said that when he did the guy in the suit promo, Hunter thought that was about him. And he had to go and have a conversation with him. And I don't think since then, I don't think they actually fixed anything. I think Karrion thinks they did. I don't think they did.
I think the arguments of that would be, and this is where people in WWE, as far as polished as they are as a company, shit falls through the cracks in that company way too often for as big as they are. Yep. For as big as they are. Because if he's, in his words, if he's saying a producer gave him the okay to cut a work shoot promo,
yeah,
then that should be relayed to your head of creative and the guy who's in charge of the roster.
I agree.
Because you can't just be Fit Finlay just to throw a name out there and be like, yeah, it would be a great idea if you do this, but not okay with Triple H, because now it's coming off. Or even if I'm Hunter and I don't think.
And who's to say that person even took the blame for that? They could easily have just been like, no, I never gave him permission to do that.
Yeah, but there could be that too. But I'm just saying, even if I'm Hunter and I'm okay with it, fans around the world and people around me are thinking I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
And once I start losing the trust of the people around me as well, because you're doing stuff maybe on your own,
yeah,
or without people thinking I gave you the okay for it,
yeah,
I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of layers to that. Stuff falls through the cracks way too often in that company.
And to summarize everything you just said, they're not bringing them back, guys. That's it. Pa fuera.
Okay.
I just want I told you this show
Also,
sucked, bro, but
second takeaway.
You didn't believe me.
Second takeaway.
Yeah.
Here's why I say the makeup on Damian Priest sucked. It definitely rubbed off. The makeup to make it look like it definitely was rubbing off when Zelina Vega
That's why
was scratching his eyes.
That's why he kept messing with it. He's like, to cover it. Oh, the final thought I was gonna have on that is too, man, I wish in that moment when Zelina jumps on his back that I was watching AEW for a second.
So he could flip her?
Because he was definitely have flipped her. That made no goddamn sense. Only in the WWE would he just take that and be like, no, like in AEW, he'd have flipped her on the table too.
Yeah, no, he can't flip. Can't touch the women.
That was the one time I wish I was watching a different product.
Before we get into the main event, let's talk about the segment with Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss. Thank you. You know where exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
I love Nia in this segment.
I loved her.
I love Nia in this segment. So
perfect.
They're in the back, and Kathy Kelly is interviewing Alexa and Charlotte. And Nia walks up, and she goes, "Aren't you two so cute?" But Charlotte, I wouldn't get too comfortable because I know what it's like to have friends around here and have them stab you in the back. And she just points at Alexa because Alexa didn't do it to her once; she did it to her twice. Alexa cashed in on her. Alexa cashed in on her once. No, I think Alexa cashed in on her twice. But either way, Alexa was friends with Nia Jax. They're real life best friends, and they were on screen. And Alexa cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Nia to win her first championship or second championship, one of the championships. And then they had a WrestleMania match, and then so Nia is just talking, and she goes, and then she says, "Oh, that little one, she'll hug you with one arm and stab you in the back with the other one." And Alexa's like, "Nia, just like you say, people can grow. I've grown from those experiences. But if you want to see that same little girl from years ago, she's not hard to find." And she gets in her face. And Charlotte kind of steps in between them. And we get the match made for next week. She goes, "All right, I'll see you next week." So we're going to get Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax next week on SmackDown. I love this segment. I thought it was great. Alexa and Nia have such great chemistry. Charlotte seemed out of place to me in this segment.
I disagree completely. This was the first time I felt Charlotte had a place in this thing. I love when she stepped in. She kept her hand in her skirt pocket, and she kind of just leaned in, and she was like, like, "Hey, I'm still here, and I'm Charlotte Flair." Like, I thought she got off really well, and I was gonna give her kudos because of this. This is the first time I've cared about them since the inception of their little tag team. So kudos to her. This was honestly the best part of the show.
The best part of the show was Jade turning on
The
Stephanie.
best part of the show was Alexa Bliss and Charlotte and Nia Jax, and I was very happy to see them for the 2 minutes of the show overshadowed everything else for me on this show.
Maybe I just got a bad taste on Alexa. Charlotte's such a great heel and really wanted to be a babyface. The segment started with Charlotte Flair caressing Alexa's pigtails, and I'm just like, we already got a quasi-lesbian relationship on the other show. I don't need another one.
Just going forward, don't bring your kids. Don't bring your kids. They are not to listen to this podcast. I will not be responsible for any of the "Daddy, what's a lesbian?" Like, no, I'm not doing that.
These kids today know what those are because of the internet.
I don't want to talk to you. Keep going. What's the last of this?
The last of this is the main event with Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre.
I just want you to know we're nowhere near an hour.
I'm aware.
Back to regular
SmackDown shows. I'm aware. Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre, and this was Jimmy trying to get revenge for Drew attacking Jacob from last week, but getting almost no offense in. Like, Drew dominated this match. He like to your point before, you can't tell me that Jimmy Uso is going to take down Drew McIntyre. You can't tell me that this is going to do anything for Jimmy Uso. Drew gets the win eventually with a Claymore. Like, we got a couple of chair shots. We got some blood off of Drew's back where Jimmy was going crazy. I think the blood came actually from the Samoan drop through the table that Jimmy hit him on. But Drew hits the Claymore. He gets the win. He puts the chair, wraps around Jimmy's neck, starts strangling him. By the way, he put the chair around Jimmy's neck and started strangling him, and those producers took hella long to get out there. Yeah. Like the first one I saw come out there fast was Kenny from the Spirit Squad, and I'm just like, Kenny Dykstra, and it was just, they couldn't get it off him. Drew's yelling at Jimmy to tell him basically telling him, y'all did this. I didn't attack Jacob, but if y'all want. And then Cody's music hits. He changed into his sweatpants Cody, runs out to the ring, tries to attack Drew. Drew takes out both of them. Drew stands tall. But go ahead with your takeaway, and I'm going to tell you what I think would be the only way moving forward for everybody here. While I eat my beef stick.
Going forward, Mark Henry has zero business commentating on anybody. I just finished watching a clip where he said that he's for them pushing Jimmy Uso and that they are currently pushing Jimmy Uso with this move. And then they proceeded to show clips of him getting his butt kicked tonight, essentially. But he was just... They're not doing nothing with this man. Can we stop pretending they are? And on top of that, again, to my point, he's either in a tag team or he's hardcore Jimmy. That's all they use him for. This was a waste of a week of a match. That's it. This is all about Drew and Cody. This is not about Jimmy whatsoever. Stop it. And wasn't this man back on Raw? Make up your mind. What show is he on? He doesn't even know where he goes anymore. He just shows up on both shows. This ain't the Tribal Thief or the Tribal Chief or any of these other thieves or chiefs and people. The hell?
He shows up on whatever show there's a family member that needs him.
It's so dumb. So dumb. And since when, like, I understood that they got cool, right? Up until he switched again to Raw for no goddamn reason. But for him to now be defending and having fights and doing all this, like, you would swear they attacked Jay, not Jacob. Like, I don't get it. You're not going to tell me that after 2 weeks of the tag teaming together randomly for no reason, now suddenly they have such a strong bond that you need to go after Drew McIntyre. And I'm supposed to believe that all night you're one-upping him, beating the crap out of him, and then, oh, you have a chance. Stop it. I hate this show. This episode sucked. That main event was garbage. And I hate everything you're about to say.
Oh.
Especially if it's pro Jimmy in any way. I promise you, I hate you.
I'm not going to say it's pro or con Jimmy. I'm going to say this is the only way moving forward for Jimmy Uso. What is the story they're telling with Jimmy on Raw?
About his brother?
So Jimmy on Raw is in a story with Jay where he's trying to convince Jay to stay the Jay Uso he wants him to be, to not go into the dark side, to not go into the Roman side, to not go into whatever, right? On SmackDown for the last, it was from the main event segment last week, the beginning segment this week, and the main event segment this week. Why did Cody come out and attack Drew McIntyre or stop him?
This week?
Remember last week when they were supposed to have the main event? Mm-hmm. Remember this week, why did Cody stop Drew from speaking during the opening segment when he was talking about who attacked Jacob? And why did Cody come out to save Jimmy, I'm sorry.
I don't know why he came out to show face and pretend that he's still a good guy, but I think it makes more sense if he attacked Jacob.
That's where I'm going. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on that because I don't think they're going to turn him heel.
I think they're going to keep alluding to it.
They're going to keep alluding to it. That's what I took from those segments. What I took with those segments, the only reason Cody came out to stop Drew McIntyre at any time was because he kept saying and he kept questioning, I was not the person who attacked attacked Jacob Fatu. If Drew is so adamant that he was not the person, that means Nick Aldis is going to have to look into who attacked Jacob Fatu. And if it comes out that it might have been Cody Rhodes, and Cody's like, shit, I can't have that come out. I need to stop Drew from talking, and I need to go save Jimmy right now because he's saying that while attacking Jimmy. How this relates to Jimmy is if Cody does end up becoming heel or alluding to becoming heel but never pulling the trigger, then you can take Jimmy on Raw having the story with Jay, and on SmackDown having the same story with Cody, and everybody he loved, who he thought was pure white meat babyface around him, is turning into something he does not want them to become. And that's the story for Jimmy Uso, trying to be the savior of both Cody and Jay and not having them turn to the dark side. That's where I think would be the only logical place for Jimmy Uso moving forward.
That's not going to happen. And here's why. They don't think that way, bro. The problem is you trying to give them this complicated, complex story when you just finished in the beginning of the episode saying how they're trying to dumb things down for everybody. Your logic makes no sense.
My logic makes sense.
No, it doesn't. You're trying to give us a complicated, complex story with all this web being weaved. No. They're trying to dumb it down for you. So all these conspiracy theories.
I don't need it being dumbed down. I want it to be complicated. I want all of those webs going everywhere so that I can figure out.
Good luck.
Because that's more complexing. That's better television. Why did we love the 4 years of the Bloodline story? It's because it was the interdynamics of the group. It's because we had to look into every single thing that Jay said.
You're not gonna turn Jay and Roman and Cody all semi or quasi heel. You're not doing it.
Shades of gray, bro. Shades of gray.
Yeah, we got that with Roman.
Shades of gray. Cody needs some sort of shade of gray. Cody needs a new painting, a coat of paint, because him just coming out as good guy, American Nightmare. I was going to call him the American Badass. That's wrong. The American Nightmare dude is not working. It's not. It works for people under the age of 12. And that's their demographic. And that's their demographic for Cody.
They don't. What do you think? They want the old heads who decided after 39 years to start a podcast about wrestling? You think they're trying to cater to us? Like, stop it. What are you thinking? They want new blood.
Not according to TKO. They don't give a about the family dynamic. They just want whoever's going to spend $15,000 for ringside seats at John Cena's last match.
Yep, you're not wrong.
That was the Vince thinking, where if we keep the family dynamic together in wrestling, wrestling's passed from father to son, and we can reach a generational company. Like that was Vince's man.
Like all sports, basically.
Yeah, that was Vince's thinking. TKO was like, no. We need to market share. We need to do everything we can to up our stock price. We need to counteract AEW shows with our shows, which don't make any sense because your pay-per-views probably get 10 times or four to 5 times the amount of viewers their AEW pay-per-views get. Like this is TKO's thinking. They're like, nope, we need 95% of all wrestling market share in the world. Yeah. And we've been through this before. We've been through this. When Vince bought WCW in 2001, before TNA was a thing, Vince had 100% of American market share. And guess what happened? The show started to suck because he had no competition and no reason to try to be the best creatively he could be.
And that's why they brand split, because he wanted competition with himself.
Yeah, and they did it for a couple years until they abandoned it completely.
Yeah. And that was SmackDown.
I thought it was a C- show. You can give it whatever.
No, I'm just saying. How do you go C- and you talk about it was okay? It was a good show. Those were your words.
C- is a passing grade. C- is a 70, a 71. You advance to the next level on that grade.
I don't want to talk to you. You know what this is? This is Leave No Child Behind.
What? No. If I said he was,
that is not the grade they deserve. However, you are not leaving any wrestling promotion behind, and you're giving them a passing score.
This was a fine show.
Stop it. I broke down how every match and every segment was garbage, other than Shala and
those are your. I
left out alone. My opinion. I gave you nothing but straight facts. I am McIntyre. What is wrong with you? I am Roman McIntyre. I tell no lies.
It's absolutely fine.
Well, you're gross.
All right. Well, that was SmackDown.
That was SmackDown.
At some point, I will have an NXT Halloween Havoc review on my TikTok. It's happening right now. I'm gonna watch it, and at some point we'll have an NXT Halloween Havoc review up on my TikTok.
Damn right.
Also, when do we think we're getting Chris Jericho back in WWE?
Pretty soon. I feel it, and especially the way Tony was giving a interview the other day, and the way he was talking sounded like Jericho's not coming back.
Yeah. Jericho AEW experience was a weird one.
The beginning when he was a face and he had the song and all that, like, that was dope.
I don't think he was ever a face. I think he was always a heel, but everybody just sang with him to the ring.
Nah, I thought he was a face for a little bit, wasn't he?
Maybe a very short run as a babyface, but he was the inaugural AEW World Heavyweight Champion. He was the heel.
He was a face because remember it was towards the end of the run.
MJF. It was when MJF turned on him, right? Then turned him babyface,
and then he was a babyface for a while. And then when he decided to turn heel, he broke up the group,
the Inner Circle,
and started the Jericho Appreciation.
Yeah, Jericho Appreciation Society.
Just because I don't watch it, don't mean I don't know my facts.
Because he was part of that group with MJF, and MJF turned on him.
See, that was the peak time.
Yeah, right before Cody Rhodes left.
Yeah.
AEW's not bad. I'm telling you, it's just, you need to get through the 80 pounds of horse crap to see the good in AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, last week on the show, they tried to drown Darby Allin in a fish tank.
I saw.
But
Damian Priest can't flip a little girl. Like
I'm watching on the Dynamite before the pay-per-view. Darby Allin put Jon Moxley in a body bag and set it on fire. And then at the pay-per-view, Jon Moxley tried to murder Darby Allin by drowning him in a fish tank. This is AEW. This is the levels of hardcore wrestling. I was watching that and I'm just like, I don't know how people watch this. Like, this is not a good wrestling match. I understand it's supposed to be an I Quit match. It's supposed to have a blood feud. You're literally murdering people. You took Daniel Bryan off TV last year by putting a plastic bag over his head. Like, you're literally killing people on TV to write them off.
Yeah. That's AEW garbage.
The only time WWE came close to that, actually multiple times, but when Austin went up in Brian Pillman's house and Brian Pillman pulled out a gun, and the time that Vince McMahon blew himself up in a limousine, but then had to retcon it because Chris Benoit went on a murderous spree.
This guy. The boy Harm hates family content.
It's not that I hate family content. It's just like I have diarrhea of the mouth. When something comes in my brain, it's coming out the mouth.
Doesn't have to, bro. It really doesn't have to. All right, so that was SmackDown.
I need all of the viral moments for if good or bad.
You can follow us on Spotify, TikTok, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And of course, me and the boy Harm both have our personal TikToks for you to check out as well. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.